Welcome everybody to the Edmonds Racing preview show, the 21st of May. Toby and Trent with us online to talk us through their runners and give us a bit of analysis on how their horses are going heading into the weekend. Obviously the barrier draws yesterday, a few wide ones, a few shockers there, and a few horses obviously dual accepted too. So we'll find out from the guys which way they look like heading. We're sort of heading towards that crunch time in the Queensland Winter Carnival now. It's building up every week, Tobe, and this week we head to Eagle Farm. There's 3 stakes races there, the Champagne Stakes, the Gun Sind, and the Victory Stakes. And, mate, you've got runners in each of those races, or acceptances anyway. And you're looking for 3 group victories in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I think the ones in the Victory Stakes have drawn a bit awkward. Obviously, Tyzone's probably looking for 1,400 now, so but he needs to run to tick over. Indian Dreamer may run in the Gun Sind, and Powering as well, and also the Drinks Cart in the Champagne. So we've got those all double accepted or dual accepted. At both venues on Friday and Saturday, so we're going to have to nut through those, but we'll give everyone an update as accurate as we can today and see where they fit. Yeah,
sure. So they'll be just subject to some proper speed maps, some form analysis to decide where you go there.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain floating out at sea, so we could get, some can come in and destroy this track for tomorrow. So it's quite possible, a few of these could go switch from the Gold Coast Eagle Farm. So we'll be guided by the weather and also the form of the races and where they fit in properly.
Yeah, nice. Keep those options open. For just quick update and a quick reminder to all our owners about the awesome offer that Sportsbet have for all of you that have Edmonds Racing runners this weekend. Team, if you have an old account with Sportsbet or you need to get a new one, make sure you give Clint a yell. He's got some good stuff there through headquarters that will really add some nice bit of top spin to any sort of bets you might be having on your own runners this weekend. So please make sure you give him a yell. Tobe discussed the rain there coming in, Trent. We have a soft 6 at the Gold Coast at the moment, and just looking at the radar there, it looks like they're expecting a decent little bit of rain this afternoon. For the punters out there and the owners out there, how does the Gold Coast track play differently, mate, from a firm track to say a soft or heavy range track?
Well, any rain at home here, and the fence is disastrous at all times. You've got to get down the middle of the track and sort of 5, 6, 7 off the fence and get down the crown of the track, basically at all times. And quite often, if you see horses stick to the fence, they look like they're bolting, and then they fall in a hole the last 100 metres kind of thing here at home if they stay down on the paint. So you're looking for horses to scout a bit deep, sort of just coming to the top of the straight and maintain their run to the line, sort of, as I said, 5 or 6 or 7 horses off the fence and in that better part of the track.
Sure. And you talk about a crown of the track. Is that literally in the centre of the track is sort of a bit of a peak where the water runs either way and it's just that little bit drier? Is that what happens at the Gold Coast? I've heard that spoken about the Sunny Coast before, but not the Gold Coast.
Yeah, the Gold Coast, it's probably not dead centre. To be fair, it might be like sort of 2/3 of the way out to the outside fence, but it's noticeable enough. Maybe not as noticeable as the Sunshine Coast one. The Sunshine Coast is quite pronounced, but it's it's still there. And if you get the right lane transit and find the right lane, it certainly is a huge help.
Yeah, right. So jockeys that have ridden the Gold Coast and know it will be an asset. And also, I suppose we've got a ton of wide barriers, mate, so that'll be an asset too.
Yes.
Love a wide barrier at Edmonds Racing. I couldn't believe this weekend I was bringing it up. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll get stuck in there. It's a 9-race card at the Gold Coast on Friday. You guys have 10 acceptances across 7 races. We've got a soft 6 at the moment. As we mentioned, we're expecting some more rain. So I'd be doing at the moment form around horses that can handle a little bit of rain-affected going, that is for sure. Race 1's the cutest 3-year-old over 1,400 metres. Toby, a first starter, Mondina. Coming off a trial win, a Sebring gelding owned by Chris McAnulty. and doing something I don't think I've seen you do before, but starting a horse on debut at 1,400 metres.
Yeah, that's basically his pedigree suggests that, and he's a bit one-paced, big horse. This horse with a big giant stride on him. You notice we trialled him up at Bow Desert at not his most recent, but the trial before his most recent one, and he didn't trial that well. He sort of scrambled around the corner. So we had him in at the Sunny Coast yesterday, but we scratched him because of the heavy 10, and it got very wet up there. Look, if it was heavy again, we wouldn't run him. But look, I suppose if the weather stays as it is, we'll go around. But you're right, 1,400 first up. Pedigree suggests no problem. The horse suggests no problem either. He's a big, giant stride of a thing, and we're confident the 1,400 is the right distance to kick him off at. Will improve when he gets out over further, but certainly loved his trial win with Zach Lloyd on the other day. He trialled up nicely, balanced up, and got to them very quickly. And ridden similarly with a nice barrier with McGilvray on. We're confident he can run well tomorrow.
Sounds good. Nice, strong each-way chance on debut. There, Mondina. Hopefully get the day off to the right start. Race 2, the cutest two-year-old over 1,100 metres. Trent, the drinks cart. Robbie Frad aboard. He won at this track a couple of weeks ago, of course, over 900 metres off just the one trial. So I suppose he's 1,100 metres after one trial and 2 runs. And Robbie Frad is back aboard. He's obviously got 60 kilos, mate, but I see Robbie in the press saying that they didn't have this horse that far off Wisdom of Water, which is a big rap.
No, look, we're probably still up in arms as to whether we run here or take the Champagne on. Maybe guided by weather. Attractive thing about the Champagne is obviously black type to try and help the mare out a bit, and if he was able to bowl them over, he's obviously a pretty serious horse, and try and help out pedigree of the mare, Snip Zoo. And he carries 57 on Saturday in that set weights race. So still up in arms as to whether or not we run. His work sense has been super sharp since his first up win. Can't fault him. To be fair, a little bit of rain about, I don't think will hurt him either. His mother, Snip Zoo, was an absolute mudlark. So that's anything to go by, and sort of follow that through with a pedigree. He'll absolutely eat it. And I'm not overly worried about rain whatsoever for him. So just still tossing up where we're going. The horse is going great. He looks an absolute picture. So decide in the next sort of 24 hours where we run him, whether it be in the stakes race or the softer option at home.
Yeah, perfect. He looks like it'd be very hard to beat in that race anyway. You'd think in barrier 10, Robbie should be able to get to whatever part of the track he likes. So, yeah. Everybody, just keep an eye on that with the drinks cart. Could go either way, and wherever the guys decide, I'm sure he'll run very, very well. Race 4, quality handicap over 1,400 metres, Toby. Mr. Bellagio, been a super consistent horse and rewarded with 2 nice wins. His last couple, he's drawn 5 for the Archer Park team. I went out to Archer Park there yesterday, Toby, and I must say I was just blown away with what a terrific facility that is. Just from the state-of-the-art water walker, treadmills, feeding programs, and then you walk through the paddocks, and they just got plenty of grass, and it's just well farmed as well as anything. It's not a horse stick sort of joint. So I was really impressed by Archer Park. Just touching on them quickly.
Yeah, look, it's a great complex. It's very, very new, obviously. And we train quite a few horses for Archer Park, so we like to use that facility. To spell, to pre-train, to tick over in between runs as well. So look, it is a good, really good complex. And Matty Henderson, who runs it up there, does a good job. He's always front and centre with the updates every week. He gives a great rundown of them. Loves to chat on the phone, which is good. And the place is in pristine condition. It seems to get a good rainfall through there. So there's always plenty of feed, and they feed extremely well as well. So look, we like that place, and happy to use it.
Yeah, certainly, it's that good feel. You go in there, and just everything's tidy, clean, and the horses are relaxed, and it's just had a great sort of feng shui sort of atmosphere about it. Just happy horses, happy people. So good stuff. They've got Mr. Bellagio in the race here. He's won his last couple, rewarding his consistency. He's obviously up in grade here, as you have to when you've won 2 in a row, I suppose. But he is down in weight, and he loves the distance. And he has performed on rain-affected going. 6 starts on the soft track, Tobe, for 2 wins and a placing. 2 wins and a.
Exactly. He's one horse that will love the going or the track with a bit of give in it. He's an older horse that's probably just feels the firm tracks. Although he performs well on them, just with the sting in the jar out of it, he should excel. Difficult going into an open company race, so we, as far as getting confident about him winning, we'd probably like to see him in that company to see how he handles it. He comes down, nicely in weight, at 55 kilos. So I think he's well weighted, drawn nicely to get a good run. Sabcat goes well. Elwood, but I suggest like he'll look the winner at some stage. Whether it'll just see how seasoned he is for the open company race, I'd suggest.
Yeah, sure. Okay, nice. He should get a dream run anyway with Matty aboard, so he'll get his chance. And certainly doesn't seem to. You'd think he'd appreciate a bit of that softer going. Wouldn't slow him down at all. Great.
I'd say the main danger in a race horse that would improve was a horse that won like Burnborough for 2 starts at the Gold Coast and beat us, would be All Warrior Bruce. It went to Doomben the other day and failed, but it looked outstanding on its home track a couple of times before going up there and failing. So it's back. It'll be probably hard to beat back to its home track, and where it obviously races well too. So it's a competitive, tricky little race, really.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's open handicap and some quality gallopers in there. So anyway, good luck to the Archer Park team. It'd be nice to see how he can, how the horse can measure up. He deserves his shot at open grade. That is for sure. Race 5, benchmark 80 over 1,400 metres. A couple of runners here, Trent, that are dual accepted elsewhere. Potro Duro, who's drawn barrier 2 by Maloney aboard. Again, an Archer Park horse he won his last couple, and he goes up in grade here, down in weight. Great Keppel, he's been super consistent this preparation. Third, second, deserves a win, the horse. Both sort of question marks on the ground, would you say? Or what are your thoughts on the ground for those 2 horses?
Potro Duro, if it's really wet, probably no. We'd save him for the next day, even though he's drawn wide. Great Keppel, I got a feeling he'll get through it. He's just got that sort of high knee action where they, can plough through the sort of wetter tracks. And he's run 3 seconds from 3 starts on soft. So I would suggest that he would handle a heavy. Bursting at the seams to win a race. I'm sick of him having bad luck. So we run tomorrow. I just want to tell Robbie to get in the clear and give him every possible, basically, no excuses. Because sick of making excuses for him and having excuses, whether it be bad luck or half a cheeky ride or whatever. Horse continues to go really well. So busting to win one, down to 55 kilos is a weight that I find pretty attractive. I love getting horses sort of a little bit up in grade and down in the weights. I think they can then show their best. He's going to give another good account of himself. He doesn't win very often, but he's super consistent. And I'm just hopeful that tomorrow, clear running for once, for God's sake, from the top of the straight and charging down the middle.
Yeah, I love it, mate. Very good. If the Kingdom is first up there, Les Kelly's the Kingdom, so he looks like a very handy horse. Obviously, fresh up though, so he appreciates it a little bit further. But he'd horse to be a good measure for both those horses. But at the moment, you'd be leaning sort of Great Keppel running there, Potro Duro waiting till the Saturday. Is that sort of correct?
I would say so, yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, good luck to the team there, the Archer Park team and Segenho and the Greys and Great Keppel. Definitely deserving of a win soon, Great Keppel. Race 7's a benchmark 85 handicap over 900 metres. Got a couple of acceptances here for 2 horses that ran at this sort of same grade, same distance at the Gold Coast a few weeks back. Both flying machines. Number 4, Yuzmanov Tobe with Bailey Nothdurft aboard. He's a horse that has great soft track stats. Bailey's obviously got a good association with them, and he meets Boom Chicka Boom a lot better the weights.
Yeah, so got into a match race the other day with Boom Chicka Boom, and we ended up getting rolled But he's trained nicely between runs. Done a lot more work with him this time, and a couple of sharp gallops in company to fit him up and sharpen him right up, which we probably sharp enough anyway. But just to have him fit and ready to go for this for this race. Obviously, he's drawn beautifully again. Bailey rides him really good actually. So we're happy to have him back on, and we get a couple of kilo or 2.5 kilos off the other horse this time. So look, I'd suggest we can turn it around this time, and with the good barrier, the other horse has drawn 9. I think that's probably a race we should be bowling over, I'd suggest.
Yeah, nice. Okay, nice confidence there for Usmanov. Royal Witness in the same race, Tobe. Am I right in saying he's most likely to go to Eagle Farm?
Most likely at this stage. That looks a nice race for him. He's flying, and we need to split those two horses up. So, here he's drawn awfully. Eagle Farm, he's drawn reasonably well. So I think we'll go that way. Yeah,
right. And then over the same distance last time, he sort of ran fourth to those two horses, didn't he? Wasn't quite as sharp as them over the 900. So 1,000 metres might suit him a little bit better the day after. All right. Race 8's the cutest 3-year-old over 900 metres. Trent, very interested in your thoughts here. Batama, she's had a month off in between runs. She's obviously the 2K filly, a terrific 2-year-old. The last few, you've been teaching her to settle over the 900 metres here from barrier 14. I guess she just drops out and you let her find the line, or how do you attack this race?
Well, there's only one turn, so I think we just ride her for comfort. She'll be, 3-4 wide line or something, hopefully midfield, and find that best part of the track that we spoke about earlier and be hitting the line hard, unimpeded run and getting to the line really well. I think probably back to 900 ridden in that manner is better for her. And there looks to be obviously pretty hot tempo. So she's going to need a little bit of luck from that wide gate. But I suppose what you could say is that she is going to get a clear crack at them at the top of the straight, being out so wide. And we'll find that sort of fast lane, if you want to call it that. Even though she's drawn wide, she'll get every chance. It's a competitive race, but I don't mind her sort of a month between runs and back to 900, that's for sure. And look, her level of work's always quite sharp. She's always been a fairly good track worker who has probably struggled after her 2-year-old campaign to those other type of horses have probably caught up to her a bit or have caught up to her a bit and gone past her as such. But I think she gets a good chance tomorrow to race well.
Very good. Okay. Well, good luck to the 2K2 team there. Just quickly on the soft track, 3 starts and 3 placings. So you'd think she won't mind the cut out of the ground, Trent?
Soft track shouldn't be too bad. She had 1 start on the heavy. I think that was her first ever race start. We shouldn't have run her. And so it was basically a forget about it. She might handle the heavy. She might not, but that was a long time ago now.
Sure. Okay. Very good. All right. Race 9's the cutest 3-year-old quality over 1,800 metres, Toby. 21 acceptances here. Good to see. 3-year-olds getting out to a trip and plenty of acceptances for young staying horses coming through the ranks. A couple of nice horses in here. Number 8, Indian Dreamer, Robbie Fradd, drawn the barrier 5 for Lucky Clover, and he has done, he almost did the impossible last start, and he did do the impossible on debut, coming from way back to win. It looks like a really promising horse for the stable. And then number 11 is Powering, a New Zealand bred for 2K thoroughbreds that I suppose was well beaten by Indian Dreamer last time, but he's a one pace sort of horse and sticks pretty well, and a rain affected track over 800 metres might be exactly what he's looking for.
So I think the 2K team are keen to run Powering on Saturday, so okay. I'd suggest he probably could go there. And we're still undecided as to where we go with Indian Dreamer as well. Both parties want to run on Saturday because it's a stakes race, which is fine. But at the end of the day, we want to
try and be winning, really.
We want to try and winning because we can chime in with well, we could chime in with both of these in the rough habit over 2,200, like a fortnight later.
Cool.
Another chance at stakes at a stakes race, and we think both of them could get that distance potentially anyway. So I'll just touch on how they're going. They're both going extremely well. Obviously, Indian Dreamer bowled this horse over at the most recent run, with Powering sitting up on the speed and Indian Dreamer coming from well back. So I'd suggest that if there was a match race, I'd suggest Indian Dreamer would probably bowl him over again, although around the Gold Coast, this horse sits up on speed. He may be able to outgun him. Indian Dreamer gets a long way back. We've done a bit of barrier work with him this week. He got a warning on him from his most recent run where he was slow away or tardy away. He's been that way his whole life. Hasn't been good at the barriers at all. So we've done a bit of barrier work with him this morning, and he broke fairly cleanly. So it's up to the rider now to get him out of the barrier clean. And he'll settle back and charge home. So look. Once again, we're unsure on which way we go, but whichever race we run them in, they'll be competitive, I'd suggest.
Based on their work. Okay, now very good. And just quickly, on Indian Dreamer, is it that he just goes to sleep in the barriers and falls out, or is he dancing around in there, Tobe? Why is he slow away?
He goes to sleep. Apparently, like Robbie's ridden him a few times. He's been slow away. They say he just doesn't begin. He just stands there and maybe watches them go. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, but we put him through this morning, and we give him a click out, and he was okay. He's not brilliant. He's not a brilliant gate horse, but it doesn't matter. He gets back anyway. And he needs to be ridden a bit quietly, so it doesn't matter. But he's got a big finish, so as long as he breaks clean, we can sort of tack on a little closer than he normally would tack on. So. We don't got to make up 3 lengths. We only got to make up the margin we are from from wherever we are in running. So that'll be good.
Dead right. No, he's done a couple of things there where honestly he's come around the home turn and you stop watching him, and then somehow he gets in fighting out a finish. And once he's won, and once he just got nosed out. So he's obviously got an extra gear there. That is for sure an exciting horse for the Lucky Clover team. All right, heading to Eagle Farm on Saturday. Not so much rain there. A good 4, and looks like there's no rain between now and Saturday either. So it looks like it's going to be a good track there at Eagle Farm. It's a 9-race card, and Toby and Trent have accepted with 10 horses in 6 races. Kicking off with race 3, Trent is a class 6,000 metres. We discussed them earlier, Royal Witness. He's opened up $5.50 in this race. And I know that you were sort of looking towards 1,000 metres for him, just that little bit extra distance where he can travel in his comfort zone, and through the week he was your star, your track work star.
Yep, without a doubt. And he has been basically going super since his first up run for us. If he drew a barrier, he'd be my best of the week by a long way. He's absolutely flying. Can obviously still win. He just needs to break clean and be ridden for speed. And in saying that, there is some fairly good speed. It just depends where a couple of them go. Archer's Paradox is also in an open 900 at home. Day prior, it's drawn barrier 10 outside us, and it only knows one way. So if it runs on Saturday instead of Friday, I'd suggest we get a fairly good run up on speed and be really strong late. I'd be really confident if we drew a gate. The horse is going super, just needs a little bit of luck in transit, and he'll be there when at the business end, going great. And hopefully we can get our first winner for the Tricolours team, James Moss.
Oh, that would be so good. I know James Moss and the owners are super excited about this weekend, but they can't believe how they keep getting these visitors draws. Every time he's accepted for 4 races and hasn't drawn into 9 the whole time, the poor bugger, but it'll come.
Welcome to our stable.
I love it. Race 4 is a benchmark 78 over 1,800 metres. Toby, two mares here getting out to distances that should suit them. Jetaffair, the mare from the West, has opened up a $7.50 chance in this race. You're claiming 2 with Justin Huxtable. Mate, fair to say she's only been fair her first 2 starts, and we're just sort of hopeful that she can she can find another gear as she gets to a distance that suits.
Yeah, she's been a little plain. But in saying that, it works good. We just need to see her transfer that work to race day. And I suggest she doesn't race well this week. We may just give her a break and let her acclimatise a bit more and go again. But look, you know, if she gets back to some of that WA form, you know, well, I said this last time, she hadn't met in a field, hasn't raced against a field like that for a while. So hopefully she can bounce out of that and put her best foot forward and run well for us tomorrow. Oh, for Saturday, sorry. She's gone well, worked well, so there's no reason why she can't. But as I mentioned, if she doesn't, we may just give her a little break and go again.
Sure. From the barrier, will Justin just bounce her out and ride her positive, or just take a sit, or just have her where she's comfortable, I suppose, over 1,800 metres?
We'd be positive. You know, drawn awkward there that night. That 1,800 metre starts a little awkward because you do get down the back to the corner pretty quick, and you just want to get into a position as quick as you can. So I'd say we'd be positive, trying to get over maybe outside lead or one pair back or something with a bit of cover, and see where she ends up from there. But tricky draw. But I'd like to see her do it. To be truthful, I need to see that on the racetrack before I get too confident.
Yeah, understand totally. All right, and Ocean Addict, she's been good at distances short of her best. Just been building nicely, finding the line in each of her runs, and you know, up to the 1,800 metres should suit her well. Yeah,
so she performed well at Eagle Farm last preparation. Like most of her runs were there when the track was very, very firm. She's probably not going to get it as firm on Saturday, I don't think. But then again, she needs to lift a bit as well. Like her last run, I think she ran up behind him, not too bad, but had a beautiful economical run in behind him. I thought she's entitled to finish a little closer, which she didn't. So this week's not D-Day for her, because she'll get out to 2,000 and on to 2,400 wherever we go. But just need to see her perform as well before I start getting too confident. You know that she is back to the form she was last prep. So both mares are sort of, to my eye, they could go one way or the other in that race.
Very good. Yeah, well, that'll be a nice, interesting race, and hopefully they both run well and put their hands up for the rest of their preparations. That's for sure. All right, good luck to the owners there. We head to race 6, the Group 2 Champagne Classic, 1,200 metres. What an absolute ripping field this is. A lot of these horses heading towards the J.J. Atkins, where they'll take on Wisdom of Water amongst others. That J.J. Atkins field is just mouth-watering at the moment. And a few of these are going to find where they sit in the pecking order in the Champagne Classic, including the drinks cart. Trent, who you've accepted here, Robbie Frad to ride again, of course, barrier 8. They've put him up $14 in the market. He's a classy horse and obviously won very well fresh up.
Certainly did. Comes in now 1. Just looking at scratchings, Overlord has been scratched out of barrier 5. So comes into 7 now, Bruce. I think that's an okay barrier for him. Isotope is drawn 6. Written Beauty, first starter O'Brien and Daniel Guys is 7, who showed good speed in a trial. So I would suggest that it would try and sort of scoot forward and put pressure on Rothfire. We could follow across and be sort of in the first couple with a bit of cover comfortably without having to do a great deal of work. But then again, it is vital that he does get that cover so he can relax and then finish off hard, as he has over the 900 2 times that he's won. Horse is going great. Yes, it is a very, very good field with Isotope and Rothfire, even Snowden's horse, Wild Ruler, you know. But our guy, I believe he deserves to take his place. He was chasing down Wisdom of Water the week before the Magic Millions, and obviously that's very good form now. And we've had a trouble-free preparation with him this time, whereas last prep, it was nothing but trouble sort of after his first up win. So, you know, he's going well in what looks to be a competitive race. But if there was a little bit of rain about, I reckon that would enhance his chances greatly. He's bred to swim, and that'd be great if the track could come up just a little bit softer than it currently is.
Yeah, nice. Okay, very good, guys. It's an absolute ripping race. If enjoy your racing. That'll be a cracking 2-year-old race to watch, and certainly good luck to the owner of the drinks cart. Hopefully he can measure up. So at this stage, leaning towards that race, you think, Trent?
I think so, yeah.
Very good. Exciting stuff. Race 7 to Group 3, Gunson's Classic, over 1,800 metres. Another big field, as I mentioned earlier, these 3-year-olds getting out to a trip. Great to see so many young horses looking like nice staying prospects for the future. Tobe, we've got those same 2 horses, mate. Indian Dreamer powering. This time Indian Dreamer's drawn 12, Robbie Frad. Powering drawn 8, Luke Dittman. $26 Indian Dreamer and $51 powering.
Yeah, that gives you the...
Sort of goes back to what we were saying before, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, probably don't need to touch too much more on these. We can roll through these ones pretty quickly. Basically the same as what I explained earlier with them. One's $51, one's $26, and that's for a reason. They're probably going to struggle in that grade. So, look, I'd prefer to go to the Gold Coast, to be truthful, and let one of them bowl it over and then move on to the Rough Habit out to 2,200. So both going good. That's all I can touch on, really.
Yeah, and that's cool. And that's just part of the game, right? That's, I suppose, you got owners and you got to talk to owners and work it all out. And you guys are sort of trying to get your point across. And there's a balance somewhere in between. I mean, the problem with these races is that if you do run a place, a third or a fourth, it ruins your rating too, doesn't it? So you can't sort of go back from it. You sort of...
You can't recover.
Yeah, so you lose all that prize money in between. So that's the other thing to consider. But, like, listen, it's a Gunston Classic, and it's nice to have horses in good races. So I understand where the owners are coming from too. All right, we head on to race 8, which is the Group 2 Victory Stakes for the sprinters, of course, over 1,200 metres. Trent, a couple of the stable stars engaged here, mate, but both unfortunately haven't drawn all that well. Tie Zone number 3, drawn 16, Robbie Frad. They have him at $26. And I know he's sort of working back from the Stradbroke as his main aim. Winter Bride, she's got some serious form lines, a very talented sprinting mare. She's opened up $11, drawn barrier 11, Brad Stewart.
Yeah, that's right. Look, Tie Zone, disgraceful barrier. We'll probably ride him in the same manner as we did last start. Let him find his feet and rip up to the line. If the speed's frantic, he'll get home over the top and be charging home. As we've mentioned a stack of times before, this whole thing with this horse has been a 12-month plan to have him peaking in a fortnight's time from Saturday. So, as Dad said earlier, probably looking for 1,400 now, but he needed this prep run so we weren't a month between runs. Whatever he does on Saturday drops to, I think it's 52.5 in the Stratty and less weight than he carried last year. So, he'll be cherry ripe come Stradbroke Day. Winter Bride, I'll be honest with you, I don't see why she can't win. There's some nice horses in there, and she's one of them. For the first time ever, we've taken earmuffs, off her. She's only got a couple of runs left in her career, so we're basically throwing the kitchen sink at trying to make the most of those. Barrier 11, it is a bit odd, but horse like Deep Image, who rolls forward, it's drawn wide as well. I think it's drawn in 12 roughly. So it'll go forward. We could probably follow it across and be in the first sort of 4 or 5. One thing I will say about this mare is when she's been, I suppose ridden ugly is not the right word. When she's had tough runs in transit, she's performed well. And you go back and look at the Railway Stakes run in New Zealand on New Year's Day, she was 3 deep, no cover the entire. In what I see would be a fairly similar spot to where she's going to end up on Saturday, and tried to guts out and went down by the barrister margin. So while it is a good field, I'm superbly confident that she's going to be right there with them and hopefully confirm her place as a Stradbroke aspirant after Saturday.
Yeah, nice, mate. I thought the same thing when she came up $11. I thought that was pretty good odds. She's a lovely each way bet, and I thought she trialled very nicely leading into this for you as well. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good luck to the Sidno team there. That'd be lovely to add another group win to her CV. So there's not a single doubt mare before she goes to stud. All right, Tobe, the lucky last we've discussed these already, Pocho Jura and Great Keppel. This is pretty much, or the same race, over 1,400 metres that there is on the Gold Coast, except it's a benchmark 72, so they have to carry a bit more weight, the both of them here. You claim the two, Pocho Jura with Justin Huxtable, he's drawn 20, and Great Keppel 7, but I think you were saying that Pocho Jura probably heads here and Great Keppel stays at the coast.
That's how it looks early. Pocho Jura actually fits into this race, even though it's drawn horribly, fits into this race okay. This jockey, Justin Huxtable's a tall kid, claims a couple. So he gets him with 58 kilos. But even from the awkward alley, he can bang this horse into a spot. And just for the map certainly looks like I could be able to do that. So we're banking on possibly that, but we'll keep our options open for another day or two yet. Great Keppel, I'd suggest we want to split them up because they're both ready to, well, the Pocho Jura's 1-2, but he's ready to roll. He's ready to run well again, and Great Keppel's ready to win. So we want to give them the best winning chances. Both of them, we'd like to split them up. So I'd suggest Great Keppel stays at the coast. Yeah,
nice. Okay. That's very interesting. Drawn 20, you'd sort of think to yourself, oh, that's atrocious, but just shows the importance of mapping and doing it all. And obviously Justin Huxtable in his hands to hopefully get the horse the right run. Carrying a weight he carried last time to win at the same benchmark and at the same distance. So it looks like a nice chance, and he's $8 chance there. Yeah, it's nice. All right, guys, we're going to Ipswich on Sunday. It was a good day at Ipswich the other day for you. A couple of winners there. We have a few engaged this Sunday. I just thought you might both pick out one horse that we should be following and that you like. Accepted for Sunday includes Forza, Rothman, Say I See You, Unconditional, Wookie, Isa Rocket, Nymeria, Managua, and Satine. Trent, who's your pick of those, mate? Give you first crack.
If it's a soft track, I'll go Say I See You. If it's drier, I'm going to have two bites at the cherry. Nymeria to bounce back from her crappy run at Toowoomba.
Nice. Okay.
What about Managua?
I like Managua. I like Managua on debut for the stable.
I knew you were going to say that one, so I left it.
You're too kind, Trent. Yeah. 100%. Love it, guys. Well, thank you so much for that insight. I'm going to hand you over to Clint Ships, and you guys can give your best bets of the weekend. The tight race, I think Tobe still leads Trent. So I'll hand you over to Clint. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks a lot, Bruce, and welcome to Sportsbet's charity bet of the week. Guys, no result last week for your respective charities of choice, which is fine. So we will get straight into it this week. Trent, who's going to be your best for the weekend?
Usmanov in the 900-metre open handicap at the Gold Coast Friday. Stand out.
Excellent. Okay, so Usmanov, Gold Coast race 7, number 4. Drawing the paint with Young Gun, Bailey Nordoff taking the ride. Toby, your Sportsbet charity bet of the week, please.
Yeah, mine's Royal Witness on Saturday at Eagle Farm. Drawn a bit sticky, but we'll run super.
Excellent. Okay, and obviously Matty Gilvray on board there for James Moss and the Tricolours stable. Well, best of luck to the team and owners this weekend. As Bruce mentioned earlier, we do have the rolling out the red carpet for all owners for the Edmonds stable runners for this weekend. So please make sure you register your horse with me directly on my email below. Stay well. See you next week. And if you're having a bet, as always, gamble responsibly.